Oh, hey, Nick Benjamin, movie news. Well, kind of movie news, I guess. Our show's got this crazy gimmick this week. We're bankrupt. Loyal members of Movie News Nation might be a little bit confused. Last week, we were fat with cash, on top of the world from our sponsorship deals. But even more loyal members of Movie News Nation will know that at the end of last week's episode, we found out that Movie Colin actually donated all our money. I called up our executive producer, Gabe, and I was all like, hey, do we have any more funding? And he was all like, nah, and also you're cut from the budget. So now, here we are, and this is what our show looks like without indoor plumbing. I'm confident we can get back into Gabe's good graces, though. I mean, if we can do movie news from the middle of the woods, then he has to let me back in the house. We've at least got to give it a shot. I really have to pee. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Movie News crew is going to do something we've never done before. Touch grass. Even at our second act low, we continue to reach new heights. See, look, I'll prove it to you. I made you this. It's time for movie news! Warner Bros. Has recently announced that they're working on new films in the Lord of the Rings franchise. Of course, everyone loves Lord of the Rings. The Peter Jackson trilogy that came out in the early 2000s did amazing, critically and commercially. The follow-up Hobbit trilogy didn't do as well critically, but it still made bank and is pretty beloved by fans. The streak was kind of broken by the Prime Video series The Rings of Power, which has fans and critics divided over whether it's a worthwhile continuation of the series. Regardless, the show crushed it commercially with over 100 million viewers worldwide. Of course, the big media conglomerate is just going to see those numbers and say, okay, we'll go right ahead and make more movies. According to inside sources, Warner Brothers wants to give Lord of the Rings a Star Wars-style treatment. Yeah, let it out, I know. I don't get it either. If you spend any amount of time on the internet in the last 5 or so years, you'll know that Disney Star Wars is polarizing at best. So I'm sure everyone's going to be super thrilled when they see the third Lord of the Rings project of 2025 releasing on HBO Max, and it's just not special anymore. Alright, fine. You got me. Movie Colin really pisses me off. I mean, what do you want me to say? He's the reason we're all out here in the middle of the woods instead of inside, cuddled up, watching Family Guy with our piles upon piles of money. I think he's starting to notice that people are mad at him for donating our cash to kids, though. Truman, in particular, isn't too keen on hiding his frustration. That isn't even my main problem with him, though. It's this stupid little segment that he does. Movie Facts is just one stupid thing he reads off of Twitter. You forget it a minute after you listen to it. It's like IMDb meets Cocomelon. But of course, for whatever reason, our executive producer loves it. He's mandated that we keep Movie Colin around to quote-unquote inspire our creativity. I don't know how. It's such a knockoff. I mean, come on, Movie Facts, movie news. Don't you see the connection? Give me a break.
Yeah, I know Nick and the other guys don't really like me. And I do feel bad about donating all the money, but it made people happy. And that's what I like to do with Movie Facts. Nick's too negative and cynical on movie news. Oh, I don't care about this. Oh, I don't care about that. Why not? Don't you want to be happy? I'm happy. Movie Facts is happy. And that's why it's better than movie news. I mean, just look at him back there. Silly guy.
What were we talking about? I don't know, movie news? I don't know, Wham? Frequent movie news viewers will know that we love Disney around these parts. Disney animation has always held a special place in my heart, but I know I'm not really unique for that. I'm also really not that unique in saying that lately Disney has stunk, man. The company that for decades were ruthless pioneers of the animation industry has become content in just rehashing all of their old content. So, let's take a look at their most recent necromancy. In April, we're getting a new adaptation of Peter Pan on Disney Plus called Peter Pan. And Wendy. It stars Alexander Maloney as Peter Pan and Ever Gabo Anderson as Wendy. Judging from the trailer, this adaptation doesn't seem to be doing anything too interesting with the IP. It's just another Disney rehash with muddy colors that seems like it has all the soul sucked out of the cartoon version. There's also a Haunted Mansion movie happening. I love it. I'll be honest, I went into this trailer expecting to feel nothing, just like Peter Pan and Wendy again, but I love it. I don't know, man, this movie just looks like fun. It's got a pretty good cast, plus Jared Leto, and it's got a pretty strong tongue-in-cheek vibe from the trailer that I honestly really like. If you're looking for any jokes or movie news cynicism, you're not gonna find it here. I love it. I guess you could consider us Lost Boys right now, though, huh? We're all alone in the woods, not a place to call our home. We haven't really had much to do, so Truman and Mac, I think, made something that they wanted me to show, so, roll the clip!
Hey, I'm Truman.
And I'm Mac.
And we've been living in the woods for a while now, so we know a thing or two about surviving nature.
Welcome to Truman and Mac's Wilderness Masterclass! You gotta get back to civilization. It's important to find some leaves, sticks, and some other kindling supplies, and make a smoke signal so you let people know that you're here.
Hello?
You gotta make a fire.
Fire! Another thing you gotta watch out for around here is bears.
Truman, there's no bears around here.
We have one thing.
Last thing you gotta know are what kind of berries to eat whenever you're out in the woods.
That's right, Mac. For instance, this right here is a normal blueberry.
Is it good?
That's pretty good.
That's good.
But this berry right here is a hallucinogenic berry. If you eat it, you'll start seeing stuff, maybe pass out. I like to call them screwberries because they'll get ya.
Well, that'll do it for us today.
This has been
Truman and Mac's Wilderness Masterclass.
Supreme! Supreme!
Delicious. Thank you, boys. On to our final story of the day. After dominating small screens for many years, Netflix's Stranger Things is finally coming to the stage. The Netflix phenomenon is getting a theater prequel entitled Stranger Things: The First Shadow, which is set to open in London later this year. Set in 1959, the play will focus on younger versions of the show's adult characters as they go through seemingly normal events in a seemingly normal town. According to the description of the play, it should hold the key to the end of the Stranger Things story, which, me personally, I'm not a Stranger Things fan, so I can't really sell the hype behind that, but that's pretty cool, I guess. Believe it or not, I've actually brought in someone to talk with me today. This is big news, everyone. Movie news has gone viral, and Lord knows I do not mean the online kind. I mean the disease kind, because we have jumped species. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my incredible, esteemed honor to introduce to you Mr. Squirrel.
Nick, that isn't my name.
It is an absolute honor to have you on the show, sir. Now, I've got a couple questions for you, if that's okay. First question, am I awful?
What?
Am I awful? I feel like I should have been more on top of the money. I don't know. Even though Movie Colin was the one to donate it all, I should have kept a more watchful eye over the account. I feel like it's my fault that it's all gone.
I thought we were going to talk about Stranger Things.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this not weird enough for you, Mr. Squirrel? Come on, man. We're trying to do a movie news show. This is serious stuff. Actually, I don't know. I just feel like this is just starting to not become much of a movie news show. I mean, how could Gabe slash our budget? It's not that hard to just read movie headlines. Was I really that bad at it?
Okay, listen, Nick. We didn't get cut off from the budget because of the content of our show. It was just because we got a little irresponsible with the money. As for Movie Colin donating all the money, that's on him. But I feel like we should forgive him for it at some point. I wouldn't really call it a mistake, but I guess he really did it just to make people happy. Don't take it all onto yourself.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I've just known since the beginning that we've been running the show on borrowed time. So I thought that when Gabe pulled the plug, it really had finally caught up to us, I guess. But since it had to do with Movie Colin, I guess it really didn't have to do with the content of the show. I actually feel a lot better. Thanks, Mr. Squirrel.
Nick, for the last time, listen to me. I am not a squirrel. It's me, Ian.
What do you mean it's you, Ian? Oh, are we in a Disney movie?
No, I'm not a squirrel. Are you seeing things?
Now, why would I be seeing things? It's ridiculous. Oh. Oh, I got stronger. I didn't know.
Nick? Nick? Oh, there we go. He's waking up.
How long have I been out for?
Many hours. Why didn't you listen to Truman about the berries?
I don't trust Truman with berry talk. It's not his forte. Besides, who are you?
I'm Isabel from the review crew. Now, Nick, I'm only gonna say this once, but while you were gone, your producer's been seeing all the footage you've been shooting, and he's impressed, and he did not expect you to keep going with this, especially after slashing your budget.
Well, of course we would. How else would people learn about mainstream entertainment media?
Right. Well, as I'm sure you know, the Oscars are coming up, and put simply, Gabe needs some review crew coverage, so he wants you to do it.
Gabe wants me to cover the Oscars?
Yeah, that's what I just said. But naturally, you'd be getting your budget back too, and you can get out of the woods. Also, why are you even in here? Don't you have a dorm?
Thank you so much, Isabel. I am not gonna let you down.
So you're gonna do coverage of the full event. And Nick, you need to be on your reporting A game. This is your last chance, so don't screw this up. I wish the other guy wasn't in DC right now.
Thank you so much. I totally understand. All right, boys. We've got a date with the Oscars. Ah, delicious. I'm breaking character. That is an amazing blueberry. That is that is so good. Oh.
It comes to. Wow.
Oh.
Okay.